Welcome back to the Shuffle Podcast, episode 224. I'm Kira.
And I'm Joe. That was a great job. You are now an official host. Great job. That's all you had to do. We spent the past 6 minutes of her contemplating how she was going to do the intro to the podcast.
I still think I should have started with Hey Gangs.
Okay, well, you said it anyways, so.
It's okay.
Anyways, I'm going to jump into something I found, and then we'll get to what you did this week.
Okay.
I did nothing this week, but Kira had quite the adventure earlier in the week.
Okay.
So where is this? Pennsylvania. And this is coming up. So this article just came out the other day, 2 days ago. And this event is happening on April 28th, which is actually my sister's birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's called Balls Out Bowling.
Okay.
And I said Pennsylvania, but it's in Pittsburgh specifically. It's a naturalism group, and they are doing a bowling naked event, and it says nudity is required, with the exception that women can wear bottoms.
But guys don't have to?
Guys don't have to. Because it's like if a guy just shows up in boxers, like what's the...
Okay.
Yeah, like what's the difference? Whereas like if a woman's got her whole fucking vajuju out...
We're starting off really strong.
You know, like...
That's fair.
It's $25 a ticket. And
to see a bunch of people naked bowling?
To participate in the naked bowling. Like if you want to do it, you have to spend $25 and you have to show up nude.
Okay.
And if the group said, please bring a towel and a bag for your belongings. I don't know why. I don't know.
Things might get a little crazy.
Here's what they said. They said Balls Out Bowling is the ultimate bowling experience for anyone who loves to have fun and show off their skills in the buff. Anyone over the age of 18 is welcome. The group stressed that safety and privacy will be paramount during the event, with no photography or video recording allowed. Sexual activity is not permitted.
So what are the towels for then?
I don't know.
That's the only other thing I could think of it being.
Maybe it's like, I don't know.
I don't want to get into it.
They're like, okay, cover up with a towel, and then like on the count of 3, and we start bowling.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Or maybe the towels are for the bowling balls.
That's
like bowlers bring a towel to like wipe down their balls, you know?
Those aren't the only balls that they're wiping down.
This says nudism. I don't know why it's called nudism as opposed to nudity does not equal consent, and harassment will not be taken lightly. Violators will be asked to leave.
Period.
So they've got it locked down. My only issue with it is, besides a bunch of probably ugly fat people. No, sorry. And naked people. I meant to say ugly naked people, but fat came out too. Bowling is like, I can't bowl while my shit's flying about, you know?
Do you wear shoes? Well, like, are they going to be wearing bowling shoes?
I think you have to, like, I think a requirement of bowling. Also, are the employees working the bowling alley? Are they like being subjected to just a bunch of potentially ugly naked people?
I think everybody's beautiful.
It's also,
Joe.
Sure, it's also going to be mostly dudes.
Oh, for sure.
Like they're like, oh, like let's go because there's going to be some naked chicks. No, it's going to be all of you naked, just like at nude beaches. It's mostly dudes.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
How many nude beaches have you been to?
Have
you been to a nude beach?
I've been to Europe, but I don't remember off the top of my head if I went to a nude beach or not.
Okay, you would remember.
I was like 10. I don't know.
You did not go to a nude beach then.
All the beaches are nude beaches.
Not true.
Most.
But if your parents brought you at 10 years old to a nude beach, we need to have a serious conversation with them about their parenting skills.
They watch. So.
Okay.
Anywho, I just remember going to a beach somewhere and
I'm
standing
telling
next
you-
to this really large pelican, and for some reason, this large pelican was the focus of everything going on. So I'm assuming that that beach was a nude beach too, and they were just trying to distract us with the giant pelican.
you would remember if they were a bunch of naked people.
What?
You would. At 10 years old, you remember that.
Okay. Whatever you say.
There's no way you don't remember something like that.
I have a really bad memory.
Not that bad. You'd remember a bunch of random naked people.
Okay.
I would.
I'm sure
Anyways.
you would.
So it's going to be a bunch of dudes
Yeah, maybe.
bowling naked,
Okay.
looking at each other's ding dongs. I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't.
I get uncomfortable being naked by myself. I can't be naked around other people that are also naked. No shot. Especially if all of those other people are men or ugly.
What is it with the ugly part of it?
I struggle with ugly people.
Okay.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. If I think you're ugly, I struggle. And if you're naked in front of me, I'm not saying everybody's going to be naked, be ugly. Everybody will be naked though.
Interesting. Interesting theories.
Yeah. There will be videos and pictures guaranteed. Like there's no shot. Like they can't stop.
They probably couldn't stop that. Yeah, no.
People are going to have their phone. Well, I
They're
guess
gonna,
you
like,
can't like,
You could
you couldn't like have your
confiscate it.
phone in your pocket. That's true. You could confiscate phones at the beginning.
Yeah. Put them in the bucket, you guys.
And you get like 2 games of bowling that
Like
lasts like an
whenever
hour.
you're doing like tests at school and they're like, put your phones in the buckets.
I never had to do that.
You never went and did
No,
like
you're
standardized
significantly
test
younger than I am.
thing and like,
No.
well,
Are you talking about in high school or in?
I don't know. I just remember like having to do like this big standardized test and we all like went into this giant room and had to
Feel free
turn
to speak up just a little bit.
sorry, we had to turn in like any electronics that we had and like put them in a bucket and then like our backpacks had to be like against the wall or something.
When I was in high school and we had like our final exams, we would have to leave our backpacks at the wall when we came in, if we brought a backpack. And phones were expected to be in the bags. But
Yeah, we had
like
to, like, take our
prior to
phones
high school,
out of
I
the
didn't have a
bags.
cell phone. So
Oh.
yeah, I know that I'm old. So
Yeah, you're really old.
sorry, I didn't have a cell phone in the fucking 2nd grade like you probably did.
No.
When did you get your first phone?
I got my first phone whenever I was 12 years old and I had to pay for it myself.
12 years old?
I had to pay for it myself.
That's fucked.
And my phone had minutes on it. So I had to like pay for my minutes.
Yeah,
instead.
everybody's first phone had minutes on it.
Okay. My sister's didn't.
Except for people nowadays. Is your sister younger than you?
She is.
There you go. Minutes
Yeah.
aren't a thing.
I
guess they
had
are, but,
two
like, very
phones
rarely.
all through high school, actually. Yeah, I had an iPod and I had a phone.
That's not 2 phones.
Well,
That's an
kind of.
iPod and a phone. Everybody, but
But-
around
but
our
it was
age
like-
had an
it was
iPod and
like
a
a-
phone.
It wasn't like a. It was like a. It was like this, but like
Yeah,
it
an
just
iPod.
didn't have
An iPod
cell-
Touch,
Yeah.
one might say.
Correct.
Yes, and it didn't have the ability to use cellular data, so therefore it was an iPod, not a cell phone.
Yes. So then, what is it?
So you didn't have 2 phones in high school.
When everybody else had a singular iPhone,
You
I
an
had
iPhone and
an iPhone and an iPod.
Okay.
Like one of the only people that had that.
Okay, Kira's rich.
No, I'm
Did you
not.
just flaunt your wealth about?
No, it was because my parents were strict, and so
And so they got you an iPhone and an iPod.
no, I paid for them both.
So you are wealthy.
No,
Or you're financially irresponsible.
That's the one.
Mhm.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know where did we go with this? Oh, you were talking about putting your phones. Yes, no, I didn't have to put my phone in a pocket.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
maybe they have to put a phone in a bucket.
That would
To do
be
that.
that would be good. Yeah. Put your phones, cameras, anything. If you even bring a camera, I feel like you should just get kicked out.
Correct. I agree. Yeah. It's an interesting event.
But
I'd like to hear about it later.
I do want to know more information after it happens. I'll have to remember this, April 28th. I really want to know if the employees of the bowling alley
Are gonna be clothed or not?
are going to be clothed, are going to be working.
Or are gonna be approving of this?
I feel like it's already, if tickets are being sold, they've already approved.
But what if it wasn't approved and they just were like,
Everybody just shows up naked.
yeah,
Well, then the cops will be called.
I'm sure they're gonna be called either way. If
I don't-
somebody just goes into a bowling alley and
My
they're like,
guess-
everybody's naked.
My guess is they've bought out the bowling alley for the night.
Oh, okay, well that's a valid point.
Yeah. Especially if they're expecting a large crowd. This is the Pittsburgh Area Naturalists group. They're naturalists. So it's a bunch of nudists. Maybe the bowling alley's in a nudist community. Maybe the employees will also be naked.
No, that's yeah, maybe.
If they're not, and they're being subjected to naked people unwillingly,
The cops will be called.
the cops will be called. Maybe not. Because if the bowling, like if let's say the manager, the owner of the bowling alley was like, yeah, this is fine. And the manager's like, this is happening. You guys are welcome to show up naked. You are welcome to not show up naked. Or maybe it's just going to be one person working. It's the manager or the owner.
This whole thing is hurting my brain. What?
I'm trying to figure out, like, the people that work at bowling alleys are like 18-year-olds.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Sure. Usually on the younger end of things.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine how, like, you have a event with naked people when there are essentially children around.
Yeah. Well, it says 18 plus.
Yeah, but does that, like, are they then ensuring that the only people staffed that night are 18 plus?
I'm assuming so.
And then again, you're just subjecting them to having to see naked people. Like, somebody's got to be
Maybe it's a
serving food,
volunteer
right? Unless they
thing.
just have pizza set
Maybe
out.
it's a volunteer thing.
They ask all the employees, like, who wants to work during the nude event?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they pay them extra.
They're just like, me, I will.
Yeah, their hands are shooting out.
Hands raising, I'll work during
Yeah.
the event. Yeah, that's interesting.
Because then you got to take away their phones too. The employees cannot have phones
Well,
unless
I
they're on
feel
break
like-
and they have to take their break in a faraway room with no windows.
Locked away.
Yeah.
No windows, no doors.
No windows, no doors.
You're
They
stuck
are
in there.
they're stuck.
forever.
And when your break is over, you have to turn your phone off, put it in your locker, and come back out. Needless to say, I don't know what the break room of a bowling alley looks like. I feel like they just take their break like right there.
I feel like there's like a spot in the back you can just walk to or something.
Probably.
That's fun.
Yep.
That's a good time.
$25 to bowl, it's like not bad.
And to see naked people. I know people who sell things for more than that. So, you know, like, never mind. I'm not going to explain that.
You talking about OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's like flaunting anything here.
What if it's something that's like, no,
What?
like somebody's into that, like watching naked people bowl.
How-
Like, dang, this is a steal. $25 to just go.
How do you know that you're into that? Like, how do you find out? Like, that's the, like, let's just go off that deep end really quick. I don't know, and I'm not gonna
How do you
kink
find out
shame.
you're into anything?
How do
I
you
feel
find
like?
out you're into something weird like that?
You see it happen, maybe.
How do you just stumble upon a nude bowler?
Maybe you're just like, man, watching somebody bowl, like they look really hot doing that.
Ew.
It would be 10
Have
times
you
hotter if
seen
they
like
were,
professional bowlers?
but to each their own, you
I
know,
suppose. Yeah, that's fair. And
But
so
it's
they
like-
would look way hotter
doing it naked.
Yeah. But yeah, like how do you bowling fine, right? You see somebody bowling, you're like, that's hot. It's not, but that
No.
let's just say that somebody finds it hot. But like other things, right? Like other unusual, I won't call them weird, unusual things that somebody might have. How do you discover that you like something? Or how do you discover that something turns you on?
Maybe you see it happen. I don't know.
I don't know how there are, I mean, there's some weird shit out there. Not kink shaming, but there's some weird shit out there. And I'm like, how did you see that happen? You don't just see,
Like what?
I can't think of anything off the spot or off the top of my, let me just look something up.
Weird kinks.
That's exactly what I'm Googling.
Oh god.
27 kinks and fetishes. I feel like those are going to be common ones. What's this?
No, just do it. Just do it.
Okay. Lovehoney.com. My search history is all out of whack right now.
Your FBI agent is.
Yeah. How do
That's
kinks
right.
develop?
There it is.
Well, there has been lots of speculation from the psychological community. No one really knows where kinks evolve from. They
Wow.
may be something that happens early in childhood or puberty that triggers a sexual response, but this can also happen at any time in life. It was once thought that kinks or fetishes were established from past abuse or trauma, but this is not always the case either. One study found that kinks are intrinsic, meaning they come from someone's personal history, such as a disposition, or extrinsic, environmental, which is a learned response. In other words, they are not a mental illness, but rather a natural expression of our sexual diversity. Okay.
Wow, that's.
There's BDSM, obviously, dominance, sadism or masochism, switch, ropes and bonds. Okay, these are just like random praise kink. I mean, you know, if you're like, that's just like so many praises, you're like, damn, I like that one you figure out pretty easily. Primal kink. Breath play. What the fuck
Oh,
is
this is.
that?
Oh, this is getting weird. I mean, maybe not super weird, not kink shaming, but like what?
Oh, this is choking somebody? What?
Oh yeah.
Autoerotic asphyxiation. That's like choking yourself.
Whoa.
If you turn yourself on by choking yourself, that's a little bit off. Breeding. This is just having children. Like having kids.
I've heard
turns
of
you
that
on.
one, yeah.
You've heard of having kids?
No, I've heard of like the breeding kink.
Breeding kink. Okay.
I don't know. I don't
Sexually
get it.
aroused by the thought of getting pregnant or impregnating another person. I
Mhm.
mean, that's just like you're turned on by sex.
I guess.
Because that's what sex is at its core.
Okay. Let's split. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
What an angle that is of two statues. I'm not going to show that.
What is
What is that? one?
that?
Licking, sucking, or eating.
No.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
This has gone down a really bad rabbit hole that I don't like anymore.
That is through a straw. Okay. I need everybody,
Thank you.
anybody that listens or watches this podcast, look up felching and just have fun.
Oh, please don't. What?
Nope.
Oh.
I don't know. Oh, that's like when I think that's probably like a role play sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know what that is. Exhibitionism. What? Can we get the vibrator off the screen, please? Jesus. Oh, that gets you get turned on by being watched.
Oh.
Fisting.
Oh.
Who doesn't love a good fisting every now and again?
Oh.
Prodding. Two men rub their penises together to achieve sexual stimulation by way of non-penetrative. Popularized by gay men. I don't think term was popularized by gay men activists who I don't even know what that word is. Disparaged the practice. Oh, they didn't. So gay guys who didn't like anal sex, they were like, let's just rub our dicks together
So
and the friction will do the job. Scissoring for men. That's how they advertised it. Prodding. It's like scissoring for men. Humiliation kink. I would not. I don't. That's another one. It's like, how do you like? You get turned on by being embarrassed. Those are like, you're either embarrassed or you're turned on. I feel like those are polar opposites. You can't possibly be both.
I think you could be.
Impact play. Okay, you like being spanked. Role play. You like being peed on.
Oh,
Like how that's the other like how do you discover like that's an unusual one. How do you discover
that you like that.
that you like being peed on?
No, that's a really maybe like they have childhood trauma of getting
Getting peed on?
I
Damn,
don't know.
that might be.
To each their own.
I guess, yeah. What's this one? Voyeurism?
What? Oh, I've heard of
Oh,
that.
that's by watching other people. So there's
Yeah.
that you like you can get turned on by being watched or you can get turned on by watching.
That's included in the whole like rice purity test. Is like
What?
if you've done that before. Have you never taken the rice purity test before?
I don't think so.
It's like this test that you go through and it's like 100 questions and you mark off which ones you have and haven't done. And then it gives you like a score, and the lower your score, the like less pure you are, and then the higher your score,
Damn.
the more pure you are. It's very interesting. You should do it. It's very fun.
My score is 16, if anybody wanted to know.
And the lower your score is, the less pure you are?
Yeah.
Oh. Out of what's the highest your score can be?
100. I think it's 100. Or it's got to be something.
Have you talked to a therapist recently?
I should.
Anywho.
Is my kink normal? Many people, especially when they are just new to the experience, wonder if they are weird when it comes to their kink.
Yeah, it's out of 100.
Um,
And you just like go through
oh my
this list
God,
of
that's
things.
too long. 100 questions? I don't have the time.
No, it's just like you check. Have you ever held hands romantically?
Yeah.
Been on a date? Been in a relationship?
Okay, I mean, those are like-
it's easy questions.
I'm
And
not saying
then-
the questions are hard. I'm not saying I have to write a 5-word essay or a 5-page
You
essay.
should check if you've done it or not, and then it gets like deeper into it, and it's like,
That's when the questions get difficult.
have you had a threesome? Attended an orgy? Wait,
At
where's
what
the boy,
point
where's
is
the
it an
boy?
orgy?
4 or more.
Are you sure? Because isn't 4 just a foursome?
At what point
I think it's 5 or more.
does it
Or does it have to be an
become
even number?
an
Probably not.
orgy? Once there are at least 4 involved,
Okay.
practices of group sex come into play and experience. Anywho.
See, this is what we should have done. 54 bizarre sexual fetishes or 20 bizarre sexual fetishes. 7 weird sexual fetishes that may blow your mind.
Do that one then. 7. That's really short.
7's a low number, yeah. Cake farts? What? Huh? A very bizarre fetish indeed. Here, a girl is made to sit on a cake and then fart on it. Some even like the woman farting while having sex. Ugh!
Discover you're into that.
Yeah, right. Like, how do you know you like somebody farting on cake? How do you know that?
Damn, that cake would look really nice if it was farted on.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho.
Balloon fans. There have been stories where some men love having balloons in the room while having sex. It somehow turns them on. I mean, balloons are fun, you know? Like, it makes
You
it
want
seem like
balloons in
makes
your
it seem like a party. I don't need balloons while I'm having sex, but like, it makes it like balloons spice everything up. Start putting balloons at a funeral and watch how much it brings the mood up. And what?
Okay.
The mood is always very depressing at a funeral. I think if you add,
He died.
yeah, but like look at like the other cultures, how they celebrate, like they have a celebration of life after.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like if you start tossing
You have a
balloons in,
celebration of life, and like you want to celebrate it, and that's
I think
sure, but like I think
slightly less
people are like,
flowers, a little bit more on the balloons,
Okay,
and it just might you
are they
know
black
like
balloons or are they like colorful balloons?
whatever you're feeling.
Okay.
In lieu of flowers, send balloons.
What?
Orgasm control. Okay, yeah, that's like yeah, we know that one.
Interesting.
Just watching somebody pee.
You see the picture?
Yeah, I see the picture. Yeah, it's weird to get turned on just by watching somebody pee. It's weirder to get turned on by having somebody pee on you.
But to just watch.
To just
somebody-
watch, yeah. Bondage, that's not weird
That's
at
not
all.
weird, yeah.
It's also not unheard of. Sex with ghosts. Classic. There is role play and then there is sex with someone dressed and behaving as a ghost. Wait, I'm sorry. What? Oh, not
You put a sheet over your head and you go, whoa.
usually in this situation, the ghost is a female and she is there to have sex with you while you are sleeping.
Oh.
Hmm.
So
So it's not like you
it's
think you're
that-
having sex with ghosts.
You go back to that consensual, non-consensual thing.
Yes.
That's
Adults in diapers. Let's listen. If you are an adult that doesn't need a diaper medically and you wear diapers, I will shame you. And if that's your kink, then I'm kink shaming you. And even though I said no kink shaming here.
I will not kink shame.
Yeah,
though.
you like to wear diapers, don't you?
Oh,
Yeah,
but
fucking
everybody
freak.
is into their own.
This fetish,
thing.
also known as I don't know how to say that. Autonepiophilia.
What? Autonepophilia, I guess that's it.
Where adults act as babies, widowy. That's what it says literally. One partner is to dress up as a baby in a proper diaper, and the other acts like a
I think
mommy or a
Not
nurturing
appropriate,
figure.
actually. That's where I kink shame because having sex with kids,
Yeah, fucking freaks.
That's weird. That's not okay.
Don't wear diapers. If
Don't
you're
have sex with kids.
Well, yes, very, very important. Don't wear diapers if you're an adult that doesn't need diapers.
Correct.
If you're like 80 years old, you can't hold it anymore, you need adult diapers, by all means, get the diapers. But if you're just like 40 and you're like, damn, a diaper, get some help. Stop making that face. Anyways, so what did you do this week, Kira? Get us off the fucking pink train.
I went out and about.
Oot and a boot.
Out and about. I went to Jelly Rolls.
Yeah.
Which is a piano bar here.
Mhm.
They're
Dueling piano.
Dueling pianos. And they play fun music and they sing and it's a good time. I did in fact give one of the pianists my phone number, but I think he has a girlfriend, so
I think
there was
all
that.
the pianists there have
wives or
significant others.
girlfriends.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it at the time.
And how did you? So just to give you guys context, at this bar, you can
You can like
request
write on a
songs.
napkin and you can like request a song and then you go up and you give it to them.
You just place it on the piano,
Mhm.
typically with some cash, so that way they get to it sooner.
Yeah, as like a tip.
You decided not to leave a tip, but your phone number, thinking
Correct.
this will work.
I didn't think it would work.
Yeah, okay,
But I was encouraged
shoot
to
your
do
shot.
so, to shoot my shot and do it. So I branched out a little and I did it and then I regretted it after. But it was a funny story now because I requested Lay All Your Love on Me by ABBA and then put my phone number down on it.
So what happened after you walked it up there, or somebody else?
Yeah, I walked it up there.
You walked it up there. You put it on the piano.
Mm.
He didn't look at it, or he did
No,
look at it.
he did look at it, I think. But
Like while you were still nearby, or you went back to your seat?
I went back to my seat. I didn't stick around. I was like, I was like, bye.
Didn't you give him a chance to get a good look at you?
Well, I had already gone up once and
Okay.
handed him one song. If anybody wants to know what that was, it was the Figment song.
Yeah.
Anywho, handed him that one. He had like turned around and like taken it from me.
Okay.
And like I was expecting something like that to happen again for the phone number one, and it didn't. And so I just walked up and I put it on the piano, and then he like grabbed it, looked at it, and then he like set it to the side. And I was like,
I mean, hey, set it to the side. It's not like he like crumpled it.
true. True. And then I don't know where it went. Must have gotten lost in the piles because the song was never played.
Mhm. I mean, there's a lot of songs that I requested.
I
and
was never
played.
texted.
Now they swap out.
They do. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
And I kind of freaked out because they swapped and I think the napkin was still on the table. And I was like,
100%.
I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, they don't take their napkins with them. They leave everything there.
So my phone number is for whoever, and
Your phone number was probably given to all of the
Probably.
pianists that
I
night.
wasn't texted, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
That's tough. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
but He was good at piano.
Yeah.
He was a good singer.
Hmm.
Looked like Robert Irwin, but a brunette.
Okay.
And so I was like,
Is he the one you sent me a picture of?
yeah,
He did not look like Robert Irwin in the slightest.
we're pulling that up again because
Robert Irwin, by the way, single again.
okay. I don't know
Supposedly.
about that.
You think
I
he's just
said-
keeping it private?
It could be.
You don't delete all the pictures of your girlfriend on Instagram.
Oh, we deleted them? I haven't
Well, I mean,
haven't
I
done
don't
that in
know. I'm not part of his Instagram social media team.
a little.
That's not a good picture. First
I'm
of all.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe slightly. Yeah.
Cute. Okay.
Anyways,
Anyway,
so
single again.
potentially single. again.
Potentially.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna make a trip to Australia and go visit the
give him your number. Give him your number. Like playing it down. Yeah.
Lay all your love on me, Robert Irwin. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, the photos of him and his girlfriend are no longer on his Instagram. I don't know if he deleted them. I don't know if
she's
he archived
private
them.
now.
She wasn't private before.
I don't think so. I think I've stalked her Instagram.
Why
Before.
didn't you just follow her?
Because I did it.
She's practically famous. You can just follow, like you just follow famous people.
Yeah, but I was more interested in Robert.
Okay. Well, now she's private. The pictures of her are gone.
Mhm.
We can assume he's a single man.
Assume-
Men and women across
Did
the
you
world
see
are
that?
going to be.
I think he walked in like the Paris Fashion Week thing.
No way.
Yeah. You didn't see
I
that?
did not. We were talking about Paris. This week is Fashion Week in Paris, and we were going to talk about it on this episode, but then we realized neither of us knew anything about it, so now we are talking about it anyways. A lot of like K-pop stars are the models for.
Robert Irwin makes dapper runway debut and 3 looks at Melbourne Fashion Festival. My bad.
Oh, there's multiple fashion festivals going on right now.
Never imagined.
Do we have a picture? I don't need a video.
Um,
Oh my God! Look at it. Show that.
Look
to
at
the-
that
Gee,
man.
look at that turtleneck.
Oh,
Holy crap!
Husband.
What is he? 21?
He's 20.
Look at that sweater.
Listen.
The cardigan right there. He's a good-looking dude.
He is.
I mean, he looks just like his dad. So
Look at that one.
that's a little bit weird.
but it's like fashion. Like
Yeah, I mean, it is.
he's
That's
strutting.
that's an outfit.
Yeah, he is doing good though. Oh,
Yeah, they look
it's a
identical.
picture of his dad and him next to each other.
But yeah, people are freaking out about
How he's single?
that. I was going to talk about the models for Fashion Week in Paris.
Oh,
Paris Fashion Week.
I know nothing about Paris Fashion
Yeah,
Week.
the only thing I was like, I saw it trending on Twitter, so I clicked on it. I was like, let me see if there's anything crazy happening. And again, I'm sure in the fashion world there is a lot of crazy stuff happening. I just know nothing about that
I don't
topic.
either.
But I did do some digging, and I saw that a lot of K-pop stars are modeling for the fashion companies. Like this person's name, this one girl's name is Lisa. She's just Lisa, but she's the model, one of the models for Louis Vuitton.
Oh, okay.
And so she's been walking around Paris. I mean, just being like swarmed by
paparazzi.
thank you, swarmed by paparazzi everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
And she looks stunning. Like whatever she's wearing, I assume it's all Louis Vuitton the entire time she's there.
Louis Vuitton has some nice stuff.
Yeah, she looks absolutely phenomenal. I don't get
I don't get
all the hype.
fashion hype.
Yeah, I also like fashion shows confuse me because like they're modeling just like the most outrageous outfits.
Correct, I
And
know.
those outfits you can't walk into a store and buy that outfit.
Correct.
So I don't know what they're
I think
modeling.
it's more of like an art form. So it's like
Okay. I was gonna say the only
So it's
fashion
like
show
the-
that makes sense is the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
yeah,
Because they are
they're-
advertising.
Yeah. But I think that like for fashion shows it is more of like an art show and it's like the stylists, I guess is what they're called, are like creating these designs and stuff.
Yeah. They're
and,
like, look at this, even if it's outrageous, look at this
like
thing
piece of
that
art that I've made
yeah.
and stuff.
And then you go buy their clothes that are just normal t-shirts and
Sure.
yeah.
I think so.
T-shirts that are $5,000.
Yeah. Correct.
What's the most expensive piece of clothing you own?
not expensive, I feel like.
Mine
And
is-
if it is expensive, it's something that I have not bought. It was gifted.
probably saying I think my most expensive is if I'm talking like a single article of clothing, it's probably like like a sport coat. If I'm talking like most expensive outfit, it would be the suit that goes with that sport coat.
Yeah.
And that's mine. It's like just a full suit.
Probably like a dress or something that I have.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
have,
and
like,
it,
a
even my
200
suit
something
was
dress.
yeah, 250 bucks. Like it was not expensive.
Just not a fashion girl. Me showing up in sweatshirts every day.
Yeah,
It's not a fashion girly, but
we can tell.
okay.
Sorry.
Ouch.
I'm sorry. Do you hear the latest Taylor Swift news?
How do you know Taylor Swift news before me? What Taylor Swift?
We're
news?
big Swifties here on the podcast.
Yeah.
You should know that.
Okay.
As part of the podcast.
Okay.
Taylor Swift's been on the podcast.
Taylor Swift herself.
Has been on. Go back to episode 22.
Okay. Will do.
Naturally, Taylor Swift was there.
We'll do.
You'll hear her in the intro. It's not on YouTube. That was before we started doing it on YouTube.
Okay. I'll do it.
Yeah. That stands for all of you too. You know, and I'm sure you have heard this. If you haven't heard it, you've been living under a rock.
I really have been though.
Okay. Ancestry, I think it's ancestry.com. It is revealed that Taylor Swift is related to Emily Dickinson.
I did not
Who-
know this.
Yeah,
actually.
okay. Yeah. So like as you know, I imagine, and many of you may know, Emily Dickinson, famous poet.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting that Taylor is a phenomenal songwriter, and her most recent
Yeah.
or her newest album
The
is called-
Georgia Post Department.
Yeah, I don't even know that she knew that she was related to Emily Dickinson, and she's talked about Emily Dickinson in like interviews when she's referring to like her own writing. And I'm getting into like this a little bit too much, but I'm
No,
like
get into it.
so when I say distant relatives, I mean distant.
Okay. Well,
Like-
I'm distant relatives to Pocahontas, but
No, you're fucking not.
yes, I am. Yeah, I am.
How do you? We'll get into that in a second.
No.
I don't need to dive into this craziness right now. How
Well-
sure are you?
Like, I've been told.
By who?
My grandma. You gonna tell her she's a liar?
No, I
Tell
think
my grandma she's
I
a
think you
liar
were
right
watching
now.
Pocahontas one time as a kid, and your
What?
grandma was like, "You're related to her."
No, it was like my great 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 grandmother was like
Pocahontas.
in her
Pocahontas
tribe
is-
or something, like one of her siblings or cousins or something. Like
Pocahontas
that.
had siblings.
I don't know, something like that. It was I don't know the details of it
I
all.
think you're missing a couple of greats, by the way. There.
Probably.
Anyways, so by the way, this came out 3 days ago. That's probably why you haven't heard of it yet.
Okay, yeah.
Taylor Swift is distantly related to another woman famous for her words, Emily Dickinson, says Ancestry.com. Swift and Dickinson are sixth cousins 3 times removed. So basically not related at all.
Basically not related,
Yeah.
but they are related.
Because I guarantee, and at least I have, you've slept with your sixth cousin at least once.
Whoa. My sixth cousin.
I'm kidding.
No,
I have not.
My first cousin.
Oh my God. Keep it close.
How many first
Strictly,
cousins?
you don't have any first cousins?
Mm-mm.
Damn. You got a small family.
Well, my mom only has one sister, and my dad only has one sister, and neither of them have kids.
Wow. So it's only you.
I have a lot of like
Second cousins?
second cousins
Yeah.
or like first cousins once removed or whatever they are. I don't know.
Yeah, so they're sixth cousins 3 times removed, which do you know how cousining works?
I thought I did, and then somebody told me that I was wrong, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. So like your first cousin is obviously like your
Like your direct
aunt's,
cousin.
yeah, your aunt's or uncle's child.
Mhm.
Your first cousin once removed would be like your mom's cousin
Mhm.
because
It's your first cousin once removed. So I have
the remove thing is a generational thing.
oh, okay. So it's like removed by a generation.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of first cousins once removed. Like a
Yeah.
bunch of those.
Yeah. And then so when it comes to like sixth cousins, we're talking like now I've lost it too. I know this, but I don't know. Let me just once I get second cousin, I'll know how to get to sixth cousin. Sixth cousin, sorry, second cousin meaning is to make things a bit simpler to understand. First cousins are non-siblings that share grandparents. Second cousins are non-siblings that share great grandparents.
Oh, so it's like, oh, okay. I have a lot of those as well because it's
Everybody
like,
has a lot of those.
well, yeah, but it's like my. No, I lost it. I lost my train of thought there.
Okay, that's fine.
Share great.
So
grandparents.
there's you, and there's your children, and there's your grandchildren, there's your great grandchildren. Then there's your parents, there's your brothers and sisters, so there's your nephews and nieces, and then your grandnephews and nieces and great grandnephews and nieces.
Mhm.
And then there's your grandparents, your uncles and aunts, your first cousins.
It's like your great aunt's
And so actually, I
kids
was
or something like that, right?
what?
It would be like your great aunts.
Your great aunt's children are your first cousins once removed because they're your parents' cousins.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
And your first cousin's kids are your first cousins once removed. So your first cousin's family tree, right? Any kids that they have or grandkids are still your first cousin. It's just once removed, twice removed, 3 times removed. Or sorry, this is thrice removed. So Emily Dickinson is Taylor Swift's sixth cousin, thrice removed. And here's how.
That is so many.
So that's third. So to get to sixth, we need to add 2 greats is third cousins. So 5 greats is sixth cousins. So they share great grandparents,
Oh my gosh.
which is like, again, I mean, we're talking generations away. So they're basically
Not related.
not related.
But they are.
And it's also 3 times removed. So they don't.
We're all related though.
What?
I said at that rate, we're all related.
At that, yeah. If you go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 more generations, 7 generations, I'm probably related to Emily Dickinson.
You should do one of the ancestry DNA things.
I have done Ancestry DNA.
I need to do it.
It's truly fascinating. Like I found out, I continue to find out a lot of stuff. It's pretty amazing. My dad bought one for him and all of me and my siblings. And then I think a couple years later he bought one for my mom.
I did the 23andMe and I didn't actually do it. It was bought for
23andMe. Why do you say numbers like that?
2, 3, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3. I
You
don't know.
just like say the number as the number is. 224 or 23.
23. I mean, sorry.
I just got like aggressively angry for no reason. I'm sorry.
Because before this even started, I said episode 224.
Yeah.
And he goes, just say 224.
Because that's how fucking numbers work.
Or it could be 224.
No. But anyways, the issue with Ancestry is like,
It's not accurate.
no. So like it is, but like to find out who you're related to, it's not that it's not like they just give you a list of people you
Oh.
could be related to. It's like you have to go in and do the digging yourself.
Oh, that's not.
Unless they do it for you, which they only do for famous people.
So Taylor Swift.
For Taylor Swift. But yeah, so she's sixth cousins, thrice removed with Emily Dickinson.
Cool.
Love
that for her.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's going to be like in her album at all.
I'm sure it won't be. Considering
Did you know that she's making like a Florida album basically?
I did hear about this. Yeah,
I'm so excited.
I don't care that much.
I thought you were a Swiftie. Yeah.
Well, she's a good friend of the pod.
Is she now?
I think Taylor Swift is a very talented human being. I don't like that she's a Chiefs fan now. I also don't like. Here's what I really don't like, and we've talked about this. Dave and I have talked about this before. We don't like her fans. The Swifties are the problem because you're all a bunch of fucking psychopaths. Cancel me. I don't care.
You're calling me psycho?
What? Yeah, you're not probably. I don't know that you're as crazy as some others.
You are correct.
But-
I'm not as crazy, but I am a fan.
Good. Sorry, I'm also reading through the rest of this. There was something else in this article that, oh, here's one. Ancestry.com previously revealed that Tom Hanks is related to Mr. Rogers. And Tom Hanks played Mr. Rogers.
That's iconic.
Yeah.
That is pretty iconic.
I don't know. Let me see how distantly they're related. Probably not as distant because Mr. Rogers was alive when we were, at least when I was a kid. I don't know when he died. You're only 4 years younger than me.
Just a baby.
Tom Hanks.
How old are you?
Hanks is 27. I'll be 28 in 2 months. Exactly 2 months, actually. Hanks is 6th cousins with Rogers. And they share the same great grandfather, which we figured out great.
Those same things.
Not 3 times removed though.
What?
So the thrice removed part,
Mhm.
remember that? So that
Mhm.
would mean, oh boy. God, that's tough to figure out. No, so like here, right? You and your third cousin share the same great grandparents.
Mhm.
You and your third cousin thrice removed, that's their oh God, what is it at that point?
This chart looks really confusing.
That's their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents, their great grandparents, their great grandparents, great grand. So like if it's thrice removed, it's their 5th great grandparent, but it's only your 2nd great grandparent. You following?
I'm really trying to, but the greats,
It's a lot of
all
greats.
greats is
So
making my brain hurt.
here's Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Here's Taylor Swift's 5 greats grandmother.
Uh-huh.
5 greats.
Uh-huh.
Emily Dickinson is 3 times removed. Let's just
So
say
then
it's
she
on the
goes-
say it's on the lower end. It's probably not. It's probably on the higher end, but let's say it's on the lower end. That adds 3 more greats. So it's her 8th great grandmother, but it's Taylor Swift's 5th great grandmother.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's confusing. So again, like at that rate, you're not
That rate.
have the sex.
It's okay. I was about to say at that rate. It's okay.
Yeah, do everything you want to do. It's
It's
fine.
fine. At what
Um,
rate is it not okay though?
When it's your sibling.
Oh, it is not okay if it's your cousin.
No, I mean you just said you slept with your cousin. So.
It was a joke.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Oh right, yeah, you can't sleep with what you don't have.
Correct. So at what rate is it not okay then?
At what rate? I mean, it's probably not okay at all.
At all, right?
But
like if it's like, yeah, we're like 70,
like
73rd cousins.
okay, if your
50.
73rd, your 73rd cousin is dead.
Well,
Yeah, well, let's see. Okay, right. So like, here's line 1. You're not going to sleep with your parents, your brothers, sisters, your nephews, your nieces.
correct.
You're not going to sleep with your grandparents, your uncles and aunts, your first cousins, or their
I think
children.
I'd sleep with these.
You're not going to sleep with your great grandparents. They're probably dead. Your great aunts and uncles. You're not going to sleep. You probably wouldn't even sleep with your second cousins because they're probably still showing up to the family reunion. Third cousins, though?
Free balling.
I mean, do you even know your third cousins? I don't.
I don't know. I just think I'm related to like 90% of the people that live in my hometown.
Probably.
So I'm
I feel
really
like-
scared to like
The only
go
way you end
anywhere.
up finding out that you're really relate is like if somebody in your family is doing like a family tree and they
did a family trip in my family. And like
who's they?
sorry, my like great uncle.
Okay.
So my grandmother's
My
brother.
dad has been working on a family tree for decades.
Yeah, somebody started to do a family tree. I am not on it though because they died, I believe.
Oh, okay. They died before.
Not before I was born, but before they finished it. So I am not on it.
Okay.
I don't think my sister is on it either.
I mean, that would make sense. She is younger than you.
Correct. Yeah. But there is this, it's like long as hell. They had to like roll it out on the ground and it was just like, it's
God.
like yeah, this person's related to this person, and we're related to this. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
okay.
feel like that, like when somebody does something like that in your family, that's the only way that somebody ever finds out that they are accidentally dating their cousin. But it's never their first. You don't accidentally date or fuck your first cousin.
No.
And
I mean,
unless
unless you're like, unless you're like adopted. Have you heard those
well,
stories?
then you're not cousins.
Have you heard those?
Oh, you mean
stories?
like
They're like,
your biological first cousin, but you were
yeah,
adopted by a different family.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
Have
suppose
you
that could
heard
happen.
those stories where like
People do
they found out
23andMe.
that it's like their sibling
Yeah.
and they're like
Oh.
with each other and like married and stuff, and it's like, yeah, we just
And they
found out that
decide
they
to
were
stay
siblings
together.
and we're gonna stay together, and I'm like,
Yeah, don't have kids because
I don't know what I would do in that scenario.
I'd kill myself.
Immediately jump off a
Done.
bridge. Yeah.
No, I think like so like I'm besides being adopted, the only other way that you end up accidentally with your first cousin is if like that part of the family like just
They're
has never
estranged.
been around. Yeah, like it's a completely
Like,
part of the family that just never came around, never did anything, cut themselves off, and you two met somewhere, did a little meet cute.
a what?
You know, a meet cute.
What is that term?
When you bump into each other and it's like it's cute. It's a fucking from a movie. You've never heard the term meet cute?
No, but I'm thinking of MEAT.
Oh yeah.
Instead of M-
Meet.
A meet cute.
Yeah.
Must be an old people term.
Anyways, so like you run into each other, you have a thing, and then
And then you fall in love.
and then you go to your grandmother's house, and she knows.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
goes, that's your cousin, and you go, we've had so much sex. And then your grandmother has a heart attack right there, and you
Dies.
killed your grandmother. You and your cousin killed your grandma.
That's so extreme.
So don't sleep with your first cousin.
Or your second.
Honestly, I feel like before in this day and age, before you hook up with anyone,
You should do a 2-3andMe. 23.
do an ancestry test, find out how closely you're related,
Yep.
and pray to God that it's more than 5 generations away.
But at some point, we're all going to be related to each
Yes, at some point.
other. At some point in time, all of the trees just are going to mesh together.
Yeah. But
It is what it is.
yeah, I mean, you just hope that it's far enough apart that your kids won't come out weird with some shit. And that you're not going to kill your grandmother at the next family reunion.
By saying, yeah, we've been having sex.
Yep. Crazy.
Crazy.
In other news,
Mhm.
did you hear about what's going on with Drake Bell?
Who?
You know Drake Bell from Drake and Josh,
I wasn't allowed to watch Drake and Josh.
but you know him.
I know of him, yeah.
Everybody knows of
I
Drake
know
Bell,
of
yeah.
him.
So he was a Nickelodeon kid. Sorry, I just
Mhm.
touched your foot. And he is coming out. There's a docuseries coming out called Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV, and they're focusing on children's TV between, or like in the 90s and early 2000s,
Yeah.
which is when he was on Nickelodeon. And he is saying he's coming forward and saying that he was sexually abused as a child by the dialect coach for Nickelodeon, his name is Brian Peck. And he worked on like
Related to.
not related to Josh Peck.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure somewhere down the line they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cousins and shit. Jeez.
But he worked on a bunch of Nickelodeon shows, The Amanda Show, all that.
Okay.
I think I don't know if he later worked on Drake and Josh. I don't know that he did because I think by then he was actually convicted. So like this guy has already been convicted of sexual encounters with minors. Specifically like actors from Nickelodeon
Yeah.
television shows. And is now a registered sex offender. And now they're coming out with this docuseries called Quiet on Set, where they're I think it's like 4 episodes. A bunch of these
Like
people who were
stars.
child actors are coming forward and saying, this is the shit that happened to me. Yeah. And it's fucking wild.
I feel like Miley Cyrus has got to be on that.
You
Right?
think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Disney Channel is up to that.
I feel like Miley's got a lot of stuff to say about that though.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I don't know that it's all necessarily related to like sexual
Jonas Brothers had stuff to say about that too.
stuff to say about what.
Like their show on Disney Channel.
I loved their show on Disney Channel.
Yeah, apparently they didn't.
Why?
It's all in like their Happiness Begins documentary.
Oh.
I don't know the exact details, but it was like they liked it at first, and then it was like it started just feeling like it wasn't being them,
Hmm.
but for some reason they still like stuck with it.
No money.
Yeah,
Or contract.
true.
But yeah, I should specify. I do not believe that this docuseries coming out. I keep touching your foot.
I can feel it, so
okay,
maybe
well, I
maybe
am.
it's okay.
I don't believe that they're only talking about like, oh, all these child actors were sexually assaulted.
It's
I
like-
think it's just like to your point about like Miley Cyrus, how like there was probably some crazy shit. She was probably like mentally abused,
yeah,
or emotionally abused. Because I mean, it's basically child labor. You're making these kids pump
Yeah.
out these amazing TV shows every single week.
yeah. That's
and-
crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. But I was trying to do a little bit of digging. I couldn't find anything because like this is the most trending thing about Drake Bell right now.
Mm.
Wasn't he also recently accused of sexual something?
I don't know. I don't keep up with them.
You don't keep up with Drake Bell? The Drake Bell news?
No, sorry.
I think he was like within the past couple of years,
That's
accused
what our friend Google
of
is for.
sexual, I don't know if it's assault. I don't know. But now he's coming out and saying I was sexually abused. He doesn't say, they don't say what in this article because the show, the Quiet on Set documentary has not come out yet.
Says that this was in 2021. The actor was sentenced to 2 years probation and 200 hours of community service in his child endangerment case. A 19-year-old girl accused Drake Bell of sexual assault in a lengthy statement read during his sentencing on Monday. So yeah, he was.
Accused him of grooming, sexual assault. Okay. But she was 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is why I was gonna say, like, this guy, Brian Peck, is already he spent 16 months in prison in 2004. And he has been a registered sex offender as of October 2004. And now again, he is coming forward, and other people who were previously associated with Brian Peck at the time of his conviction decided not to come forward for the documentary, but do it on their podcast and talk about their own experience with him.
Oh, okay.
And they were like friends with him at the time of his conviction. And so they were like, at that time in 2004, they didn't believe that he had actually done what he allegedly did. And so they were like, we went to court like in support of him, only to find out that he actually did all these things with all of these young kids.
That's
And they were like,
crazy.
what the fuck are we doing here? We're on the wrong side of this entirely. Like, that's wild.
Dang.
Yeah. So
What a crazy time.
Drake Bell got some crazy shit going on. But that's the latest in celebrity
The
celeb gossip.
Celebrity gossip.
Yeah, it's wild. There's some crazy shit going on out there. But I don't know that I have anything else. My week, like I said earlier, has been wildly boring.
Mine was not wildly boring except for that, I feel like.
You didn't talk about this. You got like very hammered
What?
at Jolly Rolls.
I did.
Yeah, you got like stupid drunk.
Yeah.
Were you drunk when you gave him your number? Follow-up question. Were you buying drinks there?
No, you pregame.
Okay, I was like, those drinks are so expensive.
Oh, absolutely. I did buy 2 drinks there.
Okay, so you spent like $20.
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
Yeah, plus tip.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Bought 2 drinks there. And then I pre-gamed 4.
So you showed up drunk. So you were drunk
No, you bring the drinks in your car. You drink them in the parking lot
Okay, you
really
slammed a couple
fast.
drinks.
Slammed a
You-
couple
You were
drinks.
getting drunk. So were you drunk when you gave him your number?
I was a little tipsy, yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed, I was.
Okay.
Um,
If you were sober, would you still have
never in a million years.
really?
Actually, I went to the new Dutch Bros here and I was stone cold sober. And the guy at the window was really cute.
And
And
you gave him your number.
I was with my roommate and she was like, you have to give him your number. And I was like, I could never, like, no, this is crazy. And she was like, you have to. And I was like, okay. So then I felt like I should ask beforehand. I was like, hey, do you have a girlfriend? And he was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, okay, then never mind.
You
Then-
asked that?
No, actually, I asked a different employee. A girl like was running out drinks to like other cars.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
stopped her. I was like, hey, does the guy at the window like have a girlfriend? Do you know? And she was like, I don't know, I can ask. So
Oh my God.
she asked and she was like, yeah, he does have a girlfriend. And I was like, okay. But he did put a little heart on my cup. And he didn't do it to everybody's because my roommates had just her name on
So
it.
he was fully willing to cheat on his girlfriend.
Oh, no. I
Yikes.
don't know.
I wonder how his girlfriend would feel if she heard this podcast and found out her boyfriend who works at the new Dutch Bros in Orlando, Florida, put a heart on your cup. Interesting. Very interesting.
I just get myself into trouble, I feel like here.
I have
I just am never gonna give another guy my number. I'm never
I
gonna
have
do
put-
anything.
I don't think I've put my number on like a
Like anything.
bill for like a restaurant.
Oh, I
but
have.
I've had my number put on.
What?
Like I didn't do
somebody
it.
else wrote it for
Somebody
you?
else wrote it.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't like. It's not like I was like in the bathroom and didn't know this was happening. I was just sitting there and I was like, I'm not gonna do it, and so they did it for me.
Yeah.
Never got a text.
Yeah, my roommate like pulled out one of her old park tickets and she was like, you wanna write your number on this? Like, girl, no, I cannot.
If I was single and something like that happened to me, somebody came up and gave me their number in like an unusual way,
Mhm.
I would text back just to say like, hey, that was
Hey,
like,
that's iconic,
yeah, like
bro.
props to you, like you got balls, like that was sick. I don't know that I'd pursue it any further than that,
Yeah.
but yeah, absolutely, I would text back if I was single. Like that would be that because, like you said, it's it's fucking hilarious. It's
Yeah.
awesome. So
But I didn't, it took some convincing for me to actually go and ask. Like it probably took about 15, 20 minutes of her convincing me that you only live once and why not?
at Dutch Bros or at
Yeah, at Dutch Bros.
wow,
Yeah.
damn.
Well, we were waiting for our drinks for that long, so
Oh, okay.
so it was like a back and forth thing.
Hmm.
What
I don't
is
know if
that?
the microphone can pick it up, but my roommate's dog is fucking yapping up a storm right now. Anyways, trivia.
Trivia.
Trivia. Random. Not
can't
random.
type.
I can't when not when the microphone or not when the microphone's in the way. Randomtriviagenerator.com.
This is ASMR time.
Please don't. Okay, pick a number.
30.
Jesus Christ. 3, 6, 9,
Okay, fine. Like
12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 29, 32, 30. I forgot you said 30. What is the name for what an archer carries his arrows in? I know this.
don't.
Haha.
Like it's like a satchel or something like that. I think that's honestly what I'm going with.
A satchel.
Yeah, I don't know. What
I'm gonna say a quiver.
Oh, that is what it is. Is it
Yeah, I know
not?
that's what it is. Quiver.
What do peacocks mate with?
Their feathers.
They're themselves.
Peahens. Oh, I get what they're asking.
These are interesting. How many rings are on the Olympic flag? 5, right?
Yes.
This one's easy. What day is hump day? Wednesday.
Yeah, you would know that.
Was that a sexual joke?
Yeah, take it however you want it. You're the one who slept with your first cousin. Oh, we didn't share the screen. Whoops, let's do that really quick. Just so you guys can know what we were looking at here. Where did it go?
Up.
That was the question. That was the answer. Just so you're all aware. I was right. I got 2 points. Kira, I'm winning 4-0. You got to step your game up.
I'm really bad at trivia.
Well.
I'm just gonna go Google it and just start looking at all the answers.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, let me know how that works.
Mhm.
Where can the people find you?
You didn't do the eat of the week.
Yeah, where can people find you? And what's your eat of the week? Excuse the shit out of me. That
Yeah.
every week for the past 200 and some odd 224 weeks. 4 weeks.
224. Kira.loveday on Instagram. Disney with Kira. Sorry, I'm fidgeting. Disney with Kira, also on Instagram. And then yeah.
What's your eat of the week?
I don't have one yet. Probably Cane's that I had yesterday.
Their chicken.
Chicken is so
They're fucking
good.
their toast.
The toast is really good
Phenomenal.
too. I was eating chicken and watching MODOK last night. Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom.
I know what it stands for.
I'm telling them in case nobody else
You
knew.
looked at me. Have you not watched all that before?
I have. I was rewatching the Traffic Jam episode.
Okay.
My friend has not seen it, and so I was showing her. Jill. Yeah. Jillian.
I feel like it should have been a mandatory thing for all Disney employees.
I think so as
Watch
well.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways,
saying.
you can follow me on my photography Instagram, Sharky_photography, my regular Instagram, Secret Agent Sharky, and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@JoeSharky7. My eat of the week is the other day I made chicken Alfredo.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was straight gas. If I had any
Ooh.
left over, still I would have you try some, but I ate it all yesterday for lunch. That was my leftovers. Absolute fire though.
Nice.
Yeah. No broccoli, which I was a little upset about. I like to have broccoli to my chicken Alfredo.
You eating a vegetable?
I love broccoli. I
love
most
broccoli.
most
Okay.
most vegetables. Did you say broccoli?
I started to say okay after
Yeah. I like most vegetables.
most veggies.
Yeah.
Yeah, veggies are good.
Unless it's like a like Brussels sprouts.
I love Brussels sprouts.
What the fuck is that?
I got so excited.
Don't they taste like feet or
I
armpits?
think you need to have
season.
Brussels sprouts that are cooked well.
I've never had Brussels sprouts.
I think you should try Brussels sprouts that are cooked in the right way. Like I was very anti Brussels sprouts, and then my mom made the best Brussels sprouts.
Don't
I've
people
ever
like put
had.
them in the oven with like oil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. But my mom makes really good Brussels sprouts. I make really good Brussels sprouts now too. They're
I
good.
just like I remember watching TV as a kid, and everybody on TV always said
Like,
that Brussels sprouts.
sprouts.
Yeah, so I never tried them, and I assume I don't like them. And you'll learn this the longer we are friends that I don't
You don't try
things that I haven't tried. I just assume I don't like, so I won't
Yeah.
try them.
Correct.
Yeah, like I've never had avocado, but I'm not going to because I assume I don't like it.
I think
I'm
that
fairly
you wouldn't.
confident I don't like it.
Avocado by itself, I don't like.
I've never had guac either, and I won't.
Guacamole is sent from heaven.
I assume I won't like it because it looks gross.
Guac is sent from heaven.
Had that.
Heaven.
All right. Anyways, as for the podcast, do you want to do the outro?
I don't really know the outro very well, but I do know that we have an Instagram now, and it's the Shuffle_podcast.
Yes.
So there's that as
Yeah.
well.
So
Love
Kira
that.
is also in charge of that, as well as the TikTok, which is at the Shuffle Podcast.
Mhm.
I'll just go through the whole thing. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at CSG Pod. That is CSGPOD. Follow us on TikTok at the Shuffle Podcast that Kira is now in charge of. That's where you'll see our clips on the podcast. But you can also see our those same clips on Instagram as Reels.
And share them.
What is it at Shuffle_podcast?
Yeah, it's the Shuffle
The Shuffle_podcast.
_podcast.
Yes. Because apparently every other version of Shuffle Podcast has been taken
The Shuffle
on Instagram.
podcast.
And then you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all at the Shuffle Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk at you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.